So recently I crossed 15,000 connections on LinkedIn, and 15,000 is a huge number. I still remember last year I had 1,000 connections, and all of these 1,000 connections were made by me sending connection requests to almost every single profile that I saw. And later on, I realized that, hey, that's a very desperate way of doing things. Why not send connection requests to only people whom I know or people whom I want to meet instead of sending connection requests to random people? So I had to find a couple of ways of getting followers. Right now, I have 15,000 followers, and all of that, like majority, 90% of them were people whom I did not know, and these guys just followed me because they liked my post or they liked my work. And I'm going to give you some tips about how you can have a really stellar LinkedIn profile, how can you get more opportunities using LinkedIn, and most importantly, what should you post and how can you get more traction. Without any further ado, let's get into it. The number one thing that I want to focus on is original content, all right? So on LinkedIn, you'll see a lot of fancy posts, like motivational quotes, you'll see some people posting pictures about the new job that they got. All of that is amazing, but you might take some inspiration from these posts, but always remember that you have to be original, right? I'm a college student. I do not know a lot about business. I don't know a lot about coding. So I can't really post, Gyani or Guru type posts where I'd be like, hey, this is how things should be done. I post things that I feel as a college student are important. For example, a couple of days back, I put out a list of all YouTubers in my college. It was just a simple list, and that post ended up getting more than 500 likes and driving me around 1,000 connection requests, which was pretty cool. Later on, I keep posting things like, why you should be freelancing or some freelancing tips. For example, once I said that I do not work with small Indian businessmen because they do not pay. I usually try working with funded startups or with US and European clients, which also got a bit of traction. And sharing your own experiences, sharing things that you know well about is what gets traction, right? You can obviously post a motivational quote and motivational story and get traction for a while, but that's not permanent. That's, just one post going viral. So if you want consistent relationship, if you want to build a good brand in front of people, then just be yourself. Do not pretend to be someone else, right? So since I'm a college student and my target audience is college student, I keep posting about college, and that's how it works. So if you're a graphic designer, post about graphic designing, post about the new things that you have been doing, post about some experiences, post about how you learned this, what was the first step, what was the second step, a quick roadmap, or post about some new designs that you have been working on. If you're a web developer, keep posting about, what are the different concepts that you learned. Some people keep posting about 100 days of code. You can even post about, what are the new components that you made on React or some new portfolio website that you worked on. Give some tips to beginner web developers. Once you start doing this, you build your own personal brand. So the next time someone thinks of a graphic designer or a web developer, you'll be the first person who comes to their mind, and you might end up getting your first client through LinkedIn itself. By the way, I made a video with Nikita who got an opportunity to work with Microsoft and Amazon through LinkedIn. I also made a video with Puneet, who is at Apple California, and he got his job through LinkedIn. So Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, all these companies are hiring through LinkedIn. Second point, follower count and connection count does not matter. I don't care if I have 15,000 followers. I don't know half of them. I don't know majority of them, right? The people who really matter are like 500 people out of those, right? So my target, I just want to build deeper relationships with those 500 people, and that's going to be more than enough. And what I try to do is I try to engage with their posts, right? So every time one of these 500 people posts something, I either comment or I reshare that post or I DM them saying, hey, this was an amazing post and I loved it. When you do these sort of unscalable small gestures, it really brings in a deeper level of connection, because just liking someone's post is not going to get you recognized. There are some investors, there are some amazing professionals that I really look up to, and every single time they post, I sort of comment or I either DM them and say, hey, I like this post and this is the part that I like the most. Maybe I can even ask them a question and somehow I try to strike conversation with them. So do not care about getting thousands and thousands of followers. Even if you have 100 good connections, 100 people whom you know almost personally, 100 people whom you can reach out for help, 100 people with whom you are more of friends rather than connections, that's what matters the most. And that's what I'm aiming for. I don't care about the thousands of followers that I'm getting. I just care about those 500 people who matter the most to me, because I think that they can bring me more value versus, just random followers. Use LinkedIn DMs. Alright, especially if you're into something like freelancing, then use LinkedIn DMs a lot. I know a couple of you guys who DM me on LinkedIn saying I got my first client using LinkedIn and thanks for that. It's really heartwarming to see some videos being implemented, and it's great. So, you can find a lot of business leaders over there. You can find a lot of people who are hiring. So every time you want to get hired or every time you want a freelancing gig, contact the right person, and that's it, right? There are millions of users on LinkedIn, so you'll never run short of clients. There is always a chance for you to get clients, and do not worry, just keep doing things, keep hustling. So this is just co-founder at Clinify. Earlier I had put in student at BITS Pilani, but now I just changed it to Clinify.in. This is my intro, not a great intro, but yeah, just a short description about things that I do. And I have also given them my email address so that people can contact me in case they have to. 13,000 people viewed my profile. I appeared in 2,797 search appearances. This is kind of crazy. Let's see what this is. This is the number of times people have viewed my profile from December 15 to December 22. That's insane. Not big companies, so anyway, I don't care. So I suggest you guys to keep a good title, something that makes people click on your profile. Here I've kept in Clinify.in, so I expect people to click and find out what Clinify.in is, and then eventually join our community. Later on, I've put in some information about who I am and what are the things that I am doing. For example, I'm president of Center for Entrepreneurial Leadership at BITS Goa, and I've listed some of my responsibilities, right, so that people can know what kind of work do I do. Plan and strategize. Strategies to improve startup culture in my campus, collaborate with other startup promoters, lead a team of 50 and curate interactive events throughout the year, things like that. Then, about the projects that I've worked on, about my YouTube thing, about my internships, like I was responsible for migrating a local database into Microsoft Azure for PaaS. I was a content and marketing intern at PushStart. This is what I did at Department of Sponsorship and Marketing, things like that. Most colleges have these departments and clubs, so join them. It's really great. It's like an internship in its own. So if you're not getting a good internship, you might as well put your clubs and departments. Do something significant in your club and department so that you can write something over here. And to be very honest, it just gives you a great experience. When it comes to working in a club is like working in a startup. I'm not gonna lie. Now education, I've put in my school and website and stuff like that. I've also put in things like how much percentage I got in my 10th grade. I got 99% in my PCM. That's insane. Okay, then but no one cares. Okay, 10th and 11th, no one cares. But yeah, at BITS I've put in some things that I do, like which clubs I'm part of. Then I've put in some certificates, not very required, but yeah, just gives you some validation, that's one thing. Volunteer experience, I did volunteer for these organizations, so if you volunteer for some organization, you can. And also, if you're a Clinify member, alright, this is very important. If you're a Clinify member, then you can go to this thing, experience, you can click on this plus icon, and you can put in Clinify over here, company name Clinify. And if you're a member, you can put in a club member or community member. Alright, and because being in Clinify is a matter of pride, and we want it to be a matter of pride because you're part of one of the most exclusive and one of the most smartest student communities out there. So if you're part of Clinify, if you're part of a Discord, then feel free to put in Clinify India as one of your experiences. Alright, we appreciate every single person who's part of our community. Alright, volunteer experience. You can add a couple of more things also, right, in volunteer. If you go to the top, you'll be able to see a plus icon for each one of these. Like you can add a profile section, introduction, featured, work background, skills. Now the advantage of adding skills is that every time someone is searching for a profile with a particular skill, your thing would show up. For example, if a recruiter is hiring for JavaScript developers, and if you have JavaScript listed as one of your skills, and if you have a decent network on LinkedIn, there are high chances that your profile might pop up and you might get that opportunity. Accomplishments, test scores, things like that. Here's where you have to add skills. Keep adding skills and ask your friends to endorse you so that there's some social validation. Or you can take some recommendations from your friends. And then these are some accomplishments like language test scores, honors and awards. In honors and awards, just put the significant ones. No need to put something like, oh, I won the spoon lemon competition in my 3rd grade. No need to put that. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Just make sure that you put all relevant info. Just fill it up with good skills so that your profile shows up when someone searches for it. And ultimately, as I told you, keep posting. All right, I'll just quickly show you my posts and what kind of posts I put out. Just give me a second. Okay, I keep resharing these posts which I find useful. This was a post. Every time I see a LinkedIn post with more than 5 lines, my brain ignores it. Now, this is a reality. This is something that I experienced, so I put it out. And it ended up getting 300 likes, which is pretty cool. Simply running FB ads is not digital marketing, bro. Want to learn marketing? Watch American TV commercials. So these are all really simple, not well thought of things. So if you want to provide value, then you can obviously provide more value than me. I just provide value by sharing good content. Like, this is good content, that's why I shared it. This is good content, that's why I shared it. In terms of me sharing good content, I rarely share good content. Like, this is good content. I used to freelance back in my college days. I had terrible experiences when I worked with Indian businesses, small Indian businesses, right from payment denial to unnecessary feature requests. Therefore, since then, I only work with funded Indian startups and US or European companies and individuals. This is reality. This is something that I faced, and that's why I put it out. So yeah, share good posts. This was a really cool post where, Coca-Cola was like one of the leading companies back in 2003, and then, as time passed by, tech companies like Google, Microsoft, Facebook just popped up and took hold of the scene, which is great. And then I read this book. Oh, this is insane, right? I read this book by Harpreet Singh Grover. I put a picture of it, and then the author of the book DM'd me, which was just crazy. He's a huge guy. The 4th point is be patient. Alright, you cannot build Rome in a day. You'll have to stay very patient. You'll have to keep consistently posting. Like, at the beginning of the year, I was 1,000 followers on LinkedIn. I was at 200 subscribers on YouTube, but still I somehow managed to get some traction, right? And it's all about patience. It's like investing. It's like long-term investment. You gotta invest once and then, just wait for a very long time. So be consistent. Do not get discouraged if you do not get a lot of likes on the very first day, right? Because you know what happens, even on YouTube and even on LinkedIn, suddenly a post blows up and that's when you start getting traction. Like, even in my YouTube journey, one video blew up to 500,000 views, and that's how, everything got kickstarted. Even in LinkedIn, I think my TEDx picture it just blew up and got like 1,000 plus likes, and that's how my LinkedIn journey began. So that's my advice to you. Just keep posting, keep doing experiments, and one day you'll find out that something works. And when you find out that thing works, just keep doing something similar to that, because that already works. That's pretty much it, guys. I hope you got some value out of this, and if you did, then please do subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.